love music, live sport. Just the Juniors with Bill Kilgour and John Redmond on Rock Sport Radio.
The final countdown, they try to tell us something already.
Seems like it, Bill, yeah.
Doesn't it? Good evening, it's Friday, it's 8 o'clock and it's time for Just the Juniors here on Rock Sport Radio. We dedicate the full hour to the juniors. I'm Bill Kilgour and he is
John Redmond.
And together we will bring you all the news, reviews and everything that's happening in the junior game in the next hour. Good evening, John. Have you recovered from last week?
Yes, I have. So, Bill, we've all had a couple of games under our belts since then. We've had a home game to Bees and away talking like Talbot, thanks to this gentleman that we're going to bring in later on. We'll quiz him why he's setting up there on a Wednesday night.
Listen, I've just noticed, John, you never managed to make the bloody makeup stair again.
Oh, I didn't manage. The green room wasn't just open when I arrived there.
No, the reason why I'm saying, John, is just to let our fans know, our listeners know that we're streaming live. Yes, we're streaming live at this present moment on Twitter, Facebook, Periscope. What do you think of that?
I think it's terrible because it makes me look heavy, but I bet it does. These things always make you look heavy. When you're not heavy, they make you look heavy, Bill. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, also, if you're going out and you can't be here for the end of the show, don't worry, you won't miss a thing. Is that no near this song? Or maybe it is, I don't know. As we'll have the podcast up when you get back home. Anyway, John, we have a guest, as everybody can see. Do you want to introduce him, please?
Yes, tonight's guest, a man with a few years' experience in the junior football at all levels. I first got to know this gentleman who was helping out at lowly Lugar Boswell Thistle. They weren't so lowly at that time. He's now taken on one of the toughest jobs in junior football. He's, of course, the new regional fixture secretary. He is Kenny Young. Good evening, Kenny, and thanks for coming in tonight.
No problem, John. Thanks for inviting me. You too, Bill. Thank you very much.
Not a problem, Kenny.
I'd just like to kick off, Kenny, by getting a couple of things straight. They keep saying this is the second time that you've been looking for this job, but am I right in saying the first time you applied it was a vacant position you applied for?
Aye, well, that's how it came about, John. A couple of seasons ago, Scott Robertson announced that he was stepping down at the end of the season. So that was then a vacant position as far as I was concerned. So I put my name forward for it then. Circumstances for Scott changed later on in the year, and he decided that he wasn't going to step down after all. So I think at that stage I'd been round about visiting clubs to let them know I was standing for the position, and I felt I'd gone too far down that road to back out. And so I went on, I carried on for the election, and I was unsuccessful, but it was pretty close. So when it came about this season, I thought I'm going to have to go for it again, because I think we really need to push on with something more constructive as far as the fixtures are concerned.
And I think you're the only man in junior football that's more abuse than I do. I think you're in that position.
I don't know, John. I've been at some places I've heard them talking about you.
That's definitely true. Kenny, it's a tough job and you can't please everyone. So what was your motivation for taking on the job in the first place?
I've been involved in junior football for many, many years. I was a young kid going to Lugar. Georgia Fleck nabbed me sneaking in one day, got me by the collar and was going to tell my dad that I was spending the money he gave me to go to the football. And he says, I'll no tell your dad if you do me a favour. I said, well, what's the favour? He says, I want you to go chasing the boys that get kicked out of the dike. So that's my first job in junior football. And when I finished up with Lugar, I was still chasing boys that get kicked out of the dike.
But now you're chasing fixtures.
Well, now it's all about fixtures, aye. I just, I've been involved with junior football, and just times have moved on, but somehow or other, the administration of the West Region hasn't kept up with that. And I hope that I can, bring us up to date with everything.
Well, you've catered so far, Kenny, because a lot of the clubs were looking for a fixture list between now and December, and you've fulfilled that. We've all known for sponsorship deals I've won every weekend last season. How can we get the sponsorship? We don't know the figures. You've fulfilled that so far, and so you made a good start, but as always, there's other people coming up with questions and obstacles in your way, i.e. we only go back to Wednesday night, and I was reading somewhere that Petershill were wanting the game off down at Kilburn because of a cycle race in Glasgow. Now, obviously, these boys haven't been down here at the Whitlish Roundabout at 5 o'clock on a Saturday night because everywhere's pandemonium.
That's probably the worst roundabout in Scotland, I can tell you. But no, they had a bit of concern, but I think maybe they had a bit of misinformation from from the City Council and the police. But as it turned out, the roads were open in plenty of time, and they made it down to Kilburn. They played their game. There were 2 or 3 other clubs had looked at it as well, and they had come in with a request to get their game postponed. But we put it to the management committee, and they made the decisions on it, and they decided that no, the games are going ahead as planned.
Well, why did you decide to put the Shettleston game off then? Because it's in the same sort of position as what Petershill was.
Right, well, the difference with the Maryhill Shettleston game was Lochburn Park was actually right in the middle of a restricted zone.
Right.
So even getting into the park on that day at that time was going to be quite a problem for the Maryhill people, to get in, get the park line, get the nets up, various things that they need to do. And it was just too much of a risk. So we spoke to Maryhill and I spoke to Shettleston, and both of them were quite happy to switch the game to next Wednesday. But because Clydebank was in the Sectional League Cup, who are ground sharing with Maryhill, now they've got that game already planned. Maryhill and Shettleston agreed to switch it to Shettleston, and that helps keep the fixtures up to date. And I've got to commend both clubs for that, because they really helped me out of there. It just was too much of a risk for that one, but all the rest of the games were outside the restricted zone. Some of them were away from home, others were at home, but no, the restricted zone, the parking, the road closures weren't coming into it. So that's how it turned out.
Another controversial decision that was getting made a couple of weeks ago there, an unfortunate incident, the Cumnock versus Kellow game, Kenny, the Kellow boy got his arm dislocated or broken, whatever it be, and you decided the game would get replayed. Is that you set in stone? The precedent been set? Is it always going to be every game that's not fulfilled will be played, or will you look at it individually?
Well, there was a load of different circumstances come into play in that, John. The first thing was that Cumnock contacted me and asked if they could kick off late at 7:30, because there were a community group of kids on the park, and if they were to kick off at 7 o'clock, it meant those kids weren't getting using the facility. And because we're all about the communities and what have you, they decided, well, that wouldn't be nice to, throw the kids out on that particular time. So we went with a 7:30 kick-off. Then what happened, 15 minutes before half-time, the young boy got injured, and the physio didn't want to move him because of his injury, and they contacted the ambulance service, and they said no to move him, and they would get there when they could, but it wasn't deemed a priority. So they took 50 minutes to arrive. Now, the referee then restarted the first half, and he tried to get a quick turn round, and they started the second half, and then the lights went out, because they're in the middle of a town centre. There's a sheltered housing complex next to the park, and the agreement is that everybody's to be out of there by 10 o'clock. So by 5 to 10 the lights went out, and there was still 8 minutes to play of the game, and I know Cumnock was up 7-1, but as far as the rules are concerned, we had no option but to go for a replay.
Is there nothing in the rule, correct me if I'm wrong, that you can make a decision on that to not replay it because it's played 70 minutes or 75 minutes, or no something in the rule like that at all?
No.
Because there's a lot of talk about that on social media, where it's after 75 minutes it's 7-1, what's the chances of them coming back for 7-1 with 15 minutes to go?
The 75 minute thing is that if it goes over 75 minutes, you don't need to give people a refund.
Oh, is that what it is?
As far as finishing the game's concerned, the thing about it is, when you look at things, Bill, if you say there were 8 minutes to play, that's not counting the time that was to be added on for stoppages.
Right.
I heard about the goalkeeper taking 4 minutes to leave the park
when they get sent off.
And then you've got your times for substitutes. So you're talking maybe 15 minutes still to play in that game.
Aye,
And who knows what happens in these 15 minutes.
well, that's true.
Keller Rovers maybe no got to pull it back to 7 each,
Aye.
but other things could have happened in that game.
Yeah.
So going forward, Kenny, will that be the decision? Every game that doesn't finish, the 90 minutes will be replayed?
That's, as far as I'm concerned, that's UEFA rules and the IFAB rules, and they're no specific. They say there's if the competition or the organisers have it in place. Well, we didn't have it in place. We didn't have any specific rules in place.
So going forward, then that's what's going to happen.
Going forward, if there's an abandonment, you know,
Aye.
and that's what came out in the referee's report. I was sitting waiting on the referee's report coming in because I didn't know whether the game had been finished or whether it had been abandoned. If the referee had turned round and says to the guys, "Aye, that's time up," you know.
Aye.
And then walked off the park. I don't think it would have had this. But what happened was in the Thursday morning, we got the referee's report and it clearly stated that he abandoned the game in the 82nd minute. We're stuck with it.
Well, I'm saying that was the last season before Les Mahego, and
That's right.
same situation happened there. The referee blew 2 minutes early or something.
No, 10 minutes
10
early.
minutes and the
Aye.
game got replayed.
Aye.
So at least you're consistent, Kenny, I'll give you that. Moving on about the games, Kenny, this has been refreshing at the start of the season. Because I still hear people complaining now that they're playing too many games, but I thought it was a great point you made to me off air between friendlies and that. I mean, the amount of games people are playing.
Last season, the season started on the Wednesday, the 2nd of August. Now, this season we've started on the Saturday before that Wednesday, so that allows us to play. And what I done was I put out fixtures for the Saturday and the Monday. So don't tell me that nobody played on the Saturday and the Monday, but last season they were all playing. Everybody, all the teams were playing friendly.
Yeah,
fair comment.
Some were even playing Saturday and Sunday in a tournament. Then and so games were still being played. All right, they were friendlies, but they're still playing games. And as it turns out, in actual fact, when you look at the old Ardagh Cup and the Central Sectional Cup, teams were playing Saturday, Wednesday anyway.
Right through the conclusion, isn't it? Right up to the semi-final stages.
Aye, so what we've got here is we've got one extra game for every club, and that was on the Monday. One extra Monday, and I don't see that it's really such.
And it's resulting in us having 4 league games under our belt.
We're getting the league off to a good start.
Yeah, that is brilliant. Listen, guys, we'll come back straight after this short break.
Love music, live sport. Just the Juniors with Bill Kilgour and John Redmond on Rock Sport Radio.
Welcome back. We're speaking to the new West Region Fixture Secretary, Kenny Young. Kenny, a couple of questions here from listeners. We'll go with them first, and I'll go back to the one I want to ask you about. One of the questions is, not a lot of midweek games. Why is the teams from North Ayrshire versing teams from North Glasgow, with the players and fans that are working? What chances are there to making a 7 p.m. kick-off? Surely that must be local games.
Well, I think the question was South Ayrshire teams going through to North Glasgow. Well, there's no a lot really. There is some travelling involved with some of them, but my problem was when I was laying out the fixtures, I've got 2 Wednesdays that I'm trying to keep even. We're trying to give teams a home one and an away one on both of those Wednesdays. These are the only 2 Wednesday league fixtures that are in. And my problem obviously is I've got teams that are ground sharing and they're ground sharing in different leagues. So that gives you a wee bit of a problem. So you've got to watch what you're doing there. But to go back to it, in League 2, there's only 3 Ayrshire teams in that league. Sorry, no, 4.
Aye.
There are 4 Ayrshire teams in that league.
Yep.
So trying to pair them off all the time in the Wednesdays is no fair in them either.
And that'll be local derbies, is it? No.
Well, that was the other thing. It was discussed at the AGM, and one of the points was they were trying to put across was you need to keep these games local for a Wednesday night. And then one delegate pipes up, I don't want local games on a Wednesday. I want my derbies on a Saturday. So it doesn't matter how you're going to work them out.
Aye.
You're not going to please everybody.
Yep.
But there's no really... I mean, I had a problem with Salkits and Curluke. And I'll be honest, it did, cross my mind that this is quite a bit of a journey. 55 mile for Curluke to get through to Salkits. But the problem there was Curluke can't get their part on a Wednesday night. So how can I fix them in with fixtures if they can't even get their own home ground? So I had to send them away. And when the fixtures were done up, I had to send them somewhere.
Aye.
Vela leaving were at home to Ardere. Ardere's had 40 mile to go. That's the big one in that league. Ardrusson through to Port Glasgow's 30 mile.
Yeah.
That's the big one in that league. The Championship, St Roch's and Darvel, 28 mile.
Aye. So
I mean, we're not talking huge
distances
here.
No, definitely not.
And that's the only one. The rest of them, they're all pretty local. And they're as good as I can really get them and try to be fair to each and every one of them. Getting into the Premier League, the big one there was Largs going through to Pollock. That's a 35 mile
one. Aye.
Yep.
That's not really out the way when you see it that way, because you'll travel that for a cup game, for a Scottish Cup game, that kind of thing.
I know Wednesday nights is hard. I mean, but
it's difficult.
It's difficult to try and give them. When you're getting told we don't want to play we don't want to play with neighbours on a Wednesday night, we want to keep them for a Saturday.
But you've got sponsorship deals and things like that for Saturday team. Coming up versus Talbot and things like that on a Saturday, when people go to it, they'll get more people through the gate, Kenny, so that's the reason they want that. But you gave me a problem for Christmas time, Kenny, because I was going to get you a road map, but obviously you know the distance between all these clubs, so I'm not bothered getting a road map now. You know exactly the distance for the Largs to Pollock.
You're some man, John.
When these clubs were phoning me about Wednesday night about getting out of Glasgow, I thought it was the AA. I'm for Ayrshire, I'm telling everybody in Glasgow how to get out how to get from Kilsyth to Hunter's Hill, and how to get from Postal Park through to Yoker.
Listen, we've got one more question for the listener. He asked why is some clubs getting 3 or 4 home or away games in a row? Now, you and I spoke about this off air. I've not seen any of that. That's something you've desperately tried to do, is give them home and away, nothing like what they were getting before.
Yeah, I've tried my best to keep it home and away. Obviously, when you cross over at some stages of that league, of the league fixtures, you will get a crossover where you play 2 home. Because just the way the fixtures work out, but nobody is getting 3s and 4s away from home.
No.
I've tried to keep it balanced. If there has been any fixtures, it's through clubs contacting me because they can't maintain a fixture that I've originally gave them.
Aye.
I've had these things that I've had to deal with. And I said to the clubs, look, I don't have a problem with you making changes as long as you contact the other club and they're in agreement to the switch. If they want to switch venues, you want to switch kick-off times, as long as the other team agrees with it, and they want to do it as well, I'll not have a problem with that. So sometimes if there's a club that's maybe get 3 away games, it might be because they've asked for it.
Asked for it, yeah. It could maybe that way, and the final no see it that way. He just sees the fixture.
What I don't want to do, what I really, really want to do is I want to make sure that everybody plays everybody in the first half of the season. I want to do away with the double headers at the end of the season. There were teams last year that were playing. There's 6 games to play, but only 3 opponents.
That's right.
That's not right.
No, it's not right.
That's not right at the end of the season.
No, it's actually for trouble, Kane, isn't it? Someone kicks off in the first game and they play each other next week. I think time to simmer down. It just kicks off again. No, it's not a good thing.
No.
You're talking about trying to build teams. Whitlets have had 2 home games now. I'm right in saying I think Glen Cairn asked to switch that game on Wednesday night down to Dam Park. Is that right, Kenny?
No, I don't think it was. No.
Somebody told me they were asked to go down there.
No, Whitlets, they asked for a late kick-off because they've got restrictions at their park as well.
Yep.
And they asked for an 8 o'clock kick-off. And when I looked at it, I said, well, Rotherham going through to to the damn part. It's an 8 o'clock kick-off. There's plenty of time there for that one.
The question I would like to ask you, last year Wishy Juniors in the Scottish Cup, they played downfield and they drew it downfield, and then they went to 5 weeks before they actually the replay played. Now in that, the East Region has already given out proposed fixtures. You know, so if the game didn't go ahead, they could go and then play in a league game. Are you prepared to do that this year through the West?
That's something I'm going to be talking about to the management committee. I would like to put something in place, because I don't think it's right that a team has to sit as long waiting for something happening in the Scottish Cup when it might not be their fault. Their part might be playable. It might be an away game, and their part might be playable. So why can they not play a league game while they're waiting?
Aye.
You know, as long as it doesn't become what they cry a game of convenience. That is to let somebody
else,
play suspensions.
Yeah. Well,
but as long as that's clear, then I don't see why a team can't play. If their game or if their park isn't playable, then why can they not play away from home in a league game?
Yeah. Well, you've answered that question, Kenny.
You've got a couple of months under your belt now, Kenny. Is the job bigger than you thought it was, or just as you expected?
I don't think it's any bigger than I expected, but there certainly has been some problems crept up on me, and you know, but I'm open to suggestions.
So you're not doing it in the back of your fag packet?
I don't smoke, Bill, so no. I've got my trusty wee laptop that I take everywhere with me, and everything's done in that. But it's I'm trying to keep communications open with the clubs, and if they've got something they want to bring up, if there's a problem, let me know about it, and then I can try and do something about it. I've had a club phoned me Wednesday night there asking about referees and assistant referees. Now, I wasn't really aware of the problem as such, but what he highlighted was quite correct. It's in the Championship. Some games are getting covered by assistant referees and some games aren't. Now,
is that down to availability?
I'm not sure. I have actually... the management committee have got a meeting on Tuesday, and I've asked for that to be put on the agenda so that we can find out why we're not getting it. Now, it might be down to availability, because, as you know, we used to have a Premiership of 12 and a Super First Division of 14. Now it's 2 divisions of 16. So we need more officials to cover those extra games.
Plus, you've got to have referees to cover the rest of the games in other leagues. Well,
actually, I've counted it up. You need 6 extra officials.
Is that what you need?
You need 6 extra from last season.
Right, well, thanks very much for that, Kenny. John, have we got player movement this week?
Yes, player movement as always, Bill. I'll start off at Fauldhouse United. They've signed Sean McManus in a season loan deal from Livingston Football Club. So that'll be a good signing for Big JC and Fauldhouse.
We can talk about that next week because he's on the show.
Oh, good, I see what you're saying. East Kilbride Thistle midfield playmaker Scott Hayden, he's signed for Auckland Talbot, and he was on the bench on Wednesday night against us.
Did he not play with Rangers at one time, that boy?
Did he? I'm not too sure.
Youth player, I'm sure it was.
He was doing a bit extra training after the game with Tucker. I can tell you that anyway, Bill. So. And Cambuslang, they've had a busy time there, welcoming offers for central midfielder Craig Malloy. Anyone interested should contact the club. And they've also released close season signing Scott Davison at his own request, and Scott has now moved to Cumbernauld United, so that's a good signing for Cumbernauld United, I'll tell you.
Andy Frame was quick enough to mark for that one. He's a good player. He's
a very good player. I remember him playing Kilsyth, and he can score goals, the boy.
He knows what the back of the net is, that's for sure.
And Cumbernauld, they went down to Whitlets on Saturday and won very convincingly, so to add Scott onto that squad as well, it's all boded well for Cumbernauld this season so far.
Player injuries, John, I think we've got a couple.
We've got a couple of injuries. Renfrew manager Colin Clark, he still can't unveil his close season recruits Bob Campbell from Shettleston and Ryan Boris from Hurlford United due to the injuries that they're carrying. And at B, Nicky Doherty missed Wednesday night's game against Cambuslang due to a hamstring strain and not having a game this weekend. That will help him to recover. But they've got a game this weekend because they've got the big Scottish.
Oh, have they?
They've got the big Scottish, and hopefully they'll get Nicky back in for that because he's a good listener.
Well, all the best for him then, as far as that was concerned.
Yep.
Right, John, we're going to have a look at last week's results.
Oh, right. No.
Kenny, you can join us in this one. You know, let's look at Saturday then. As you said, it started off on Saturday, Kenny. Good result for a start for Cambuslang Rangers, 4-0 against Kirkintilloch Rob Roy. John, what do you think of that?
Well, it is a prime. Bill, last week on the show I did tip Cambuslang as a team to watch this season. Cambuslang Rangers and Clydebank are two clubs I think could do very well this season. They've bought well in the close season, and it was just said that Cambuslang are now offloading two very good players as early on this season, so they must have a fantastic squad. So to go and win 4-0 Saturday was a great result for them.
Aye. Kenny, Cumnock Juniors beating Cabinna Layside 2-1. Was that unexpected?
I think, no, Cumnock's blowing hot and cold actually, Bill. I've seen them on the Monday against Keller Rovers, but I wasn't surprised with that, you know.
The reason why I'm asking is because Big Scott Hansen was in the paper saying that usually Cumnock's a slow starter and usually try to play catch up later on in the season. But he says we're getting after a couple of good starts in the league, we're hoping to push on in that, and like you said, they're hot and cold, but Cumnock made it then 2-1 with that one. That was some game down at Hurlford, John. Hurlford 3, Glenafton 2.
It's always tight affairs between these two clubs. They've got a bit of rivalry there with Dan Henderson being the manager down at Glenafton, moving to Hurlford, so there's always that wee feisty bit in there. And Hurlford have signed one or two good players. They've also released one or two as well. Big Alan Jenkins, I hear he's away to Darvel, so that's a big loss for Hurlford.
Definitely a big loss.
Great signing for Darvel, I must admit, Bill. But Glenafton, Southday, he'll be disappointed going the season off to a 3-2 defeat, because he'll be expecting big things from Glenafton this season. And then we've got Irvine Meadow 0, Clydebank 3. Kenny, just what John says, Francis Clydebank this season to do a wee bit of damage up there.
Aye, well, they seem to have been busy in the signing front, so I'm not surprised that they're going to be one of the contenders.
Aye. And then we've got Larsen 0, Auchinleck Talbot 1. John, you played them on Wednesday night. We'll talk about that later, but is that a good indication that Talbot's on the move?
It's a good start. That's a difficult place to go, and they've got the 4G Park with Talbot going away from up there, and it's a good start for Talbot away from home, 3 points. Speaking to Tommy on Wednesday night, and he was saying it was a tough game, and he was delighted to come away with a 1-0 victory. He said that Largs will give a few clubs a hard game at home this season, so Tommy was delighted to get 3 points.
Aye. Kenny, Petershill there 0, Kilwinning Rangers 1. Chris Strain Jr. has got that team working well now.
Seems to be, John, to go up to Petershill and come away with the points is showing that they're moving in the right direction as well. John,
Renfrew 1, Pollock 1. Tony will be disappointed with that because they were classed as one of the favourites for this season for the title.
Tony seems to think they should do well. Well, Tony doesn't say it, and everybody else does, but Renfrew, new club in there, the first game of the season, they'd be buoyed up for it.
Of course,
we did read out there that still got a couple of players to come in, so it was a good point for Renfrew for the first game of the season.
And you can notice what I've done here, John. Kenny, Troon 0, Beath 2.
What's the deserve, Kenny? Don't give me that.
I'll move my chair back in case he swings out of me. Beath last year, the champions, so I think that was an expected result. I don't think you'd be.
John was saying they missed 2 tatters, they missed this, they missed that.
That's always the case, isn't it? Both goals were offside with the 10 yards as well.
Obviously you were there, Kenny, that's right. No, actually it was a good game to watch. It was 0-0 with maybe 15-20 minutes to go, Kenny, and 2 individual mistakes for the Troon defenders Beath in, but I think overall Beath did just edge the game. I think a good side Beath, the stuffy side to break down.
Well, John, Auchinleck, this is going into Wednesday, Auchinleck 1, Troon 1, and you actually scored.
We did.
And then you got a player sent off.
Yes, it was 1-0 to us midway through the second half. Christian Nadi getting the goal, took it very well, and then with about 50 minutes to go, we got the player sent off for a double booking. When you saw all second half, Auchinleck were really camping their half. It was a matter of time, and as Talbot do best, 5 minutes to go, ball got into the box, ping-ponged across, and it comes off one of our boys' hip and gets deflection into the net, and we'll come and blow for time up now, we'll go out the door. But 2 minutes to go, Talbot get the penalty. So you think, oh no, we've played so well, I'm going to have nothing. But Scott Johnson, the Troon goals, made a fantastic save, and put out for a corner. We cleared the corner and the referee took pity on us and blew for time up. It was after 90 minutes, of course, Kenny, in case you want to replay it. 90 minutes was up. But no, it was a fantastic point for Troon, and I spoke to Tommy after and he was saying the same thing.
So this is what he had to say.
I thought the first 10 minutes we started brightly, put a bit of pressure on, a few efforts on the goal, then Troon came into it, and I thought they probably shaded the first half. I thought they were a wee bit better than us in the first half. Into the second half of the goal down, we've got to go for it a bit, and we pushed and pushed, finally got a goal that just miss a penalty with a few minutes to go. You're not going to win, right? That's one.
It wasn't happening for you in the last couple either, Tommy.
That's right, it wasn't a lot of movement or whatever. Their goalie did a few saves, but all the piece have no qualms with the result or nothing.
I think that was the result at the end of the day, but you missed a penalty, you must be this.
You're going to be disappointed after that, but that happens. We'll take it in the chin and move on. We've obviously got a big game coming on Saturday.
Talking about Saturday, I see a couple of boys on the bench tonight, 2 Bolson boys. Was that with a view to Saturday?
Definitely, aye. That's a thing we've got today, and it gives people game time as well. We've got to bring that into it. We actually had a few people miss training and whatnot, and because of various things this season, there's not been that many training sessions, and I think it shows a wee bit. Trying to get them fit with games isn't ideal.
You still looking to strengthen your squad, Tommy? Are you quite happy with your squad?
Oh, I'm always looking to strengthen, although I'm happy enough with what we've got, I must admit. Well, the piece, I've been quite happy. We lost to Darvel, which is a wee bit of a blow, but we've reacted really well to it, and with 3 wins and a draw now, so the piece I'm happy. Obviously no tonight, but I couldn't have fought Troon to give them the point, definitely.
Very complimentary, John.
Yeah, Tommy was. The way Tommy sees it, the way he says it, he's right. I mean, he had to be disappointed. I was saying to him about the penalty miss, but in the second half, Talbot were really going for it. 1-0 down, they really putting it under pressure, but they just couldn't. It's one of the nights our goalkeeper had a great game, and they just couldn't break down our defence. Our defence stood good, and Tommy was, as quite rightly said there, you don't score with penalty kicks with a minute to go, you don't win games.
You don't win games,
but,
no, that's right.
But I was actually speaking to him about Saturday's game as well after that, Bill, and he's a bit wary because he said that Banks are scoring a few goals this season. So
well, I've not heard any reports for them, but I've noticed that they are scoring goals, so they must have spent wisely and bought some decent players, that's for sure, down there. Moving on then, Kenny, Beath 2, Cumberslang Rangers 1. You expect Beath to win that game, but it was a tight affair.
Aye, Cumberslang, tough side as well. So maybe again their quality must have shown through in that one.
Aye. John, you're seeing at Glenafton 4 and Cumnock 2, and as Kenny says, Cumnock hot and cold. They win on Saturday, they get beaten the Wednesday. You know,
the local derby there, and they'll be disappointed at that. But as I say, South is expecting big things from Glenafton, so they must win their home games, and they got off to a good start at the home game. But it just shows you how important it was not to get nothing at Hurlford on Saturday. Even to get a draw at Hurlford would have been delighted.
Aye. Well, Kenny, there's Hurlford, another win. They beat Mervyn Meadow 4-3. That must have been some game. Were you there?
no, I wasn't at that.
Oh, that was some game. Seemingly it was like they score, we score, they score, type of thing, and then the final. It was at the 92nd minute. Up pops Hurlford and bangs the ball in the back of the net.
I think you find Mervyn Meadow score a lot of goals this season. They either set their team up, they're meant for goals, but they're obviously losing 4 at the back. They're always capable of doing that.
And we spoke about Kilbirnie and Petershill. Petershill struggling to get down there, and obviously it proved that way. They get beat 1-0.
Oh, well, I hope it wasn't the travelling.
The travel sick.
John, Kilwinning 2, Renfrew 1.
Good result for Kilwinning. I heard it was a good second half performance to win the game for them. It was easy peasy first half, but second half Kilwinning come out and they upped the gear a little bit and they get the victory, so that's a good start for Kilwinning, just straining this season. And then
Kirkintilloch Rob Roy 1, Clydebank 2, Kenny. Clydebank, as John says, going for it. But Kirkintilloch Rob Roy, man, they're not doing very well now, are they? That's 2 defeats.
Aye. I still think that Clydebank is maybe just too powerful for Rob Roy. It's maybe come at a bad time for Rob Roy.
Max will not be happy with that result, John.
No, he'll not be. No, it's not a good start for them. And they've got one or two problems. I mean, losing 4-0 in the first game and then at home losing against Clydebank,
Yeah.
bad start. I mean, that's last season up there competing at the top end of the league, but as Kenny said, it's early days yet. A few of the clubs will get players on holiday because Kenny started the season too early, you know.
Tony will be disappointed with Pollock. That's 2 draws in a row. Pollock 2, the Lars Thistle 2, especially in Millionsfield.
You've got to win your home games if you're any aspirations of doing it in the league. That's one thing you must do. And,
Yep.
but I said,
Pollock just haven't got off to a good start at all. Even
No.
their sectional was disappointing.
Aye, that's right.
So
Let's look into the championship then. Arthurlie 6, St Roch's 1. I've never seen that score coming, John.
no, Big Sinky's got the boys playing there at Atherley, but because St Roch's, they've strengthened this season immensely, haven't they, Bill?
They've been letting players go that was a stalwarts last year to got them promoted, so they must have decent players. So that just shows you, and that's no Sinky, it was there, that was their assistant manager, because Sinky and the other coach were away on holiday. He was on it himself.
Oh, no.
So maybe Sinky would come back and then they get beat, maybe look a job.
I think they got beat midweek, didn't they?
Aye, they probably did, aye. Kenny, Darville 1, Rossvale 1. I don't know about Darville and Rossvale. I know Rossvale really, they romped the league last year, but okay. But Darville, I don't know much about them. I haven't seen them this last season at all.
I'm surprised at that, and I thought Darville would have won that comfortably because they've been busy in the signing front as well. They're hoping to do good things, and that they're looking for, you know, survival in that championship, I would say.
Aye, they've got to be.
I thought they would have, with them being at home, I thought they would have got that one easy enough.
And John, and there's one there. Girvan 1 and Nielsen 3, one of the newcomers to their division, beating the Girvan, doing it Girvan 3-1. So what does that say about Girvan?
I think it says that Girvan's in for a hard season this year, Bill. I mean, it's been a difficult start for them. We know the carry on that they had. Ian Patterson, the Craigmark manager, he moved to Girvan along as assistant, and his assistant decided to stay at Craigmark, and then Ian left Girvan, so they're behind the black ball straight away to start with, so to get their management team sorted out. A few of their players have moved on to different clubs as well, so it's going to take a bit of time for Girvan to organise, and obviously the way the fixtures are coming hard and fast in that division as well, don't think they'll have the time to do that this season.
Well, no, I don't think so either, because that division is going to be really tough. Because everybody are going to be fighting to try and get promotion, and obviously trying to save relegation is a big point down there. Kenny, Keller Rovers 0, Dalry 3. Is that a surprise?
No, I wouldn't think so. Dalry has hit the ground running really well. I would take Dalry to be up there along with the favourites.
Would you take that? Well, I'll take a wee note of that. Well. Kenny says Dalry will be up there challenging.
It could be right, I think. Could be right.
John, what about Kilsyth Rangers 5? Your old team, Craigmark 0.
Yeah, it did surprise me. I thought it would be. The scoreline surprised me slightly, but I didn't think Kilsyth would beat Craigmark. But 5-0, it's not a good start to your season. No,
it certainly isn't. And then if you look at Larkhall 1, Irvine Vicks 6, Kenny, that's a surprise.
Well, Larkhall's really suffering at the moment. They're no got off to a good start at all. They've been in the receiving end of some
horrific
big
stuff.
scores.
So I'm saying it was a surprise. It was only 6, to be honest.
Well, maybe, aye.
You know, it was one of the kind of things. John, Rutherglen Glencairn 3, Bemburg 1.
Good home win for Glencairn in the first game of the season. But I think Glencairn will be one of the fancy clubs in that division to be up there along with the Cumbernaulds. So they've been in that division for 3 or 4 seasons now, and if they can just get consistency going through the season, Glencairn are a good side when they play football.
They're putting some results together as well. They've been scoring some really good goals as well. They've been hearing from other people. If you go into YouTube, you can see some of their goals.
Big Boy Smith up front.
He's always going to score goals.
Fantastic player.
Yes. And we'll go to Whitlets 0, Cumbernauld United 3, John.
Well, Cumbernauld, I think, they're going to be my tip to go in that division and win it. Whitlets have done well this season, getting up. George Grierson won a few games in the season, but they've made a step up now, and I don't think they've strengthened too much. And they've also been hit by 1 or 2 late people going away to work. They've lost a couple of midfield players. They lost the boy Barber up front, the striker. So it's not just easy to get this stage in the season and replace boys like that. So Whitlets found it hard against Cumbernauld on Saturday and also at home midweek as well.
Kenny, we'll get into League 1 now. Blantyre Vicks 2, Royal Albert 1. Royal Albert, one of the promoted teams, they won the league last year by the skin of their teeth, and they've really brought in a couple of good players, but they struggled there.
I think they've done no bad. With a 2-1 there, with them coming up into that league, it's a big step for Royal Albert, and you know, hopefully they'll move on. But it's not been a hammering.
Glasgow Percer, John 2, Ardrossan Winton Rovers 7.
That's a surprise. The scoreline surprised. The result surprised me. Ardrossan winning doesn't surprise me. They've been a good side this season. Ardrossan, Stevie Wilson went from Irvine Vicks, and he took 1 or 2 good players along there with him. But to go to Perthshire, which is very difficult, and win 7-2, has made a lot of clubs sit up, I'm quite sure.
Aye. Kenny, then we look at Maryhill 2, Belsill 4. That's a good result for Belsill. They're one of the ones that came up last season.
Aye. Maryhill's a bit of turmoil at the moment. They've had a few changes over at Lochburn Park.
Aye.
So
one of them's our manager.
Aye.
And some of the committee left as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Aye.
So I don't know exactly what's going on over there, but I'm sure they'll sort something out.
Maybole 4, East Kilbride 3, John.
Oh, it's good to see Carlo getting a victory in his belt, because it's a hard start to the season. And Carlo works hard. I mean, he gets a lot of abuse, and it's no merit half the time. I mean, the boy works his fingers to the bone for that club, Maybole. They've had the gutting of the dressing rooms last year, a couple of years with fire and all that, and the bounce back from Martin. But I think Carlo's made a mistake. I didn't see myself, but it seems to be in the local press saying that he's had a big cash investment and things like that.
Oh, you don't say things like that.
So your £10 player now becomes £20, £30 or one for you. So.
And then nobody wants to come to you because you're not offering them that kind of money.
That's
you
right.
don't ask that.
So if that's true, he's a bit naive doing that. But it's good to see Carlo getting a win under his belt.
Yep. Port Glasgow 1, Lugar Boswell. Your team, Kenny, 2.
My old team.
Your old team.
I'm supposed to be neutral now, Bill. Actually, I was at that game. So
You go for the boys?
no. It was one each right up to the last minute, and Lugar stole it basically.
Did they?
But I think they deserved the win over the piece, but it was really hard going for them. But it was more or less the last minute when they got the goal.
Obviously,
so good result for Lugar.
Obviously, Lugar are a club. I mean, our club don't have much money now, Kenny, and I see they're going down the kind of young road. It's a good road. Is there a few good young boys at the club?
Yeah, there's some good young talented players there. There's 16, 17-year-old and.
Maybe too young just now?
No, I don't know.
Listen, John, if you're good enough, you're old enough. Let's be honest. And you're talking about consistency. I know what you're saying. Because you've got it at your own club.
And
they're
not 16 and 17.
No. But listen, look at the boys that went to Rangers, like your Derek Johnson, 16-year-old in the first team scoring goals. So if you're good enough, you know. Oh
no, that's no apples to apples, Bill. I'm not letting you out that one. But Derek Johnson compared to Lugar Boswell, that's not come on.
Come on, why not? John, Shettleston 3, Gartcairn 4, and Shettleston were 2-0 up in this game.
Right. Disappointed at that.
And then it was 3 each, and Gartcairn scored in the 93rd minute.
We had a friendly match against Gartcairn down at Kilwinning, and Gartcairn looked a figure side that day, I must admit. They beat Troon 2-0 that day. Okay, there was a couple of players missed on both sides. It wasn't a good judgment, but I was quite impressed with some of the football that Gartcairn played. So,
and Jimmy McKenzie, the ex-Fourth manager, he's in there now,
right.
And he seems to have turned around about, and he's brought in a couple of players there that can mix it as well as play football as well, John. So they'll be tough to beat, I would think, this year. You know. Let's look at Shotts Bonaccord 1, Greenock 2, Kenny. Shotts Bonaccord are in a transitional period. They've got a new manager, John McEwen, who was doing it at Cumnock, as you know. He's spent a lot of money. When I say a lot of money, he's brought in a lot of players for that division who have played in that division, so they should know. But I was quite surprised that they get beat at home with Greenock, because Greenock have not started so well.
No, I don't really know much about Greenock as such, but that surprised me. I thought Shotts had brought in enough as would take that game, but no, it didn't work out for them.
No. And John, Wishaw 3, Yokert 4. That was a bad one for Wishaw.
A bad one for Wishaw, but I'm not surprised the game was this close, Bill, because obviously the two clubs know each other from last year, in the same division last season, and they'll know, albeit there'll be a kind of change in personnel, but they still know each other inside out. So, but once again, Wishaw, they'll be disappointed not getting the 3 points at home. I
think they've still got a hangover for reaching the semi-final, John, and I mean, that's my old club, and there is a kind of atmosphere there that doesn't build any confidence at the minute. So I think it'll take it wee. And of course it's a new team because they lost 11 players this season. So it is a new team coming in there as well.
I'm a great believer, Bill. No, I don't know. I've never been fortunate enough to get to semi-final of the Scottish Junior Cup as manager. First round's the best I've ever done, but even get out of the Scottish Cup, you always see teams taking a dip the next week. Doesn't matter who it is when you're in Scotland. But so I don't know if it's still going on yet for you, Bill, but it certainly would have happened last year. I'm quite sure it did.
Wishy struggled after the semi-final because they were playing Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, right through the second week in June. I mean that kills them. Manager can't do any training. He can't sort out any problems in defence or anything like that. He can't do nothing. He's just got to put a team out and hope for the best. And it just went from bad to worse. And I still say at this time, they've still got a wee bit of hangover there.
Would you do the same again, Bill? Would you? Would you take the semi-final?
I mean, if I was still at the club, yes, certainly I would. I would take the final this time, John. Get in there, you know. Yep. But no, it was a great journey as far as I was concerned. I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. Right, let's look at the League 2 then. We'll start with Anne Bank, Kenny 7, Saltcoats 2.
No really surprised there. Saltcoats is really struggling at the moment, so Anne Bank, maybe I didn't expect a big score like that though, but I still think that Anne Bank would win that game.
Right. Okay then, John, let's look at Ardere Thistle 3, Newmains 2. Seemingly Newmains United were 2-0 up at that point.
I was surprised they wouldn't have. A long time since Newmains have been 2-0 up in a game because they've been really struggling, in fairness to them. But Ardere, big part there down there. I'd expected Ardere to win that game more comfortable. So to come back from 2-0 down, it's a good result for Ardere. But I'd expect to follow the game if they'd been looking for Ardere to win the game a lot more comfortable 3-2.
Carluke Rovers, Kenny 0, Ashfield 4. We turn up for the books there at Ashfield. They're starting to play some decent football under their new management team.
Carluke again, they seem to be struggling. They haven't been doing very well for the start. In fact, for the end of last season, they were struggling as well. So it's no really a surprise with that one.
John, Forth Wanderers 3, Johnsonborough 5. Forth Wanderers got a new manager in Ian Rankin, who's been out the junior game for a few years, but he's been working with the youth at Motherwell. So
a few contacts
there. They've had a good few results gone their own way in pre-season and such like that. But Johnsonborough came out there and battered 5 past them.
Johnsonborough's in the Wee Cup again, Bill.
That's right.
And I'm a great believer. I love to see that the teams of history, the Johnsonboroughs and the Mary Hills and the Bedfors and the Wishes, the better mention Wishes. It's good to see these clubs starting to come back. Johnsonborough's been doing for season after season recently. They were a huge club at one point, so it's good to see clubs coming back for the dead, come back into it.
Yep. Lanark 4, Vale of Leven 0 up at Moore Park there, Kenny. Lanark are tough at home, tough to beat at home.
I've seen Lanark over at Lesmahago on the Wednesday night, and certainly their first half performance were quite on top for that game. So I'm not really surprised that they've managed a home victory against Vale of Leven in that one.
And then we've got John St Anthony's 0, Lismahago 1. That's a good start for Rab Irvine.
Good start for Rab, to go to St Ant's and get 3 points.
Seemingly it was a fluke goal according to the Twitter account of St Ant's, but if you read Lismahago's one, it was a brilliant goal.
I'm quite sure Rab will take a fluke goal every week if it's 1-0.
You better believe he would, honestly.
Well, in that net.
Vale of Leven 1, Thornleywood 1, Kenny.
Vale of Clyde.
Vale of Clyde, and Thornleywood. I take it Thornleywood, Tucker's finding it a wee bit tough there at Thornleywood.
Well, I think he's still got a bit of work to do to lift them up. Vale of Clyde, it's no unexpected a draw there, I wouldn't think.
No. Right, let's move on to the East region then, guys. We'll start with the East Super League, John, and we've got a couple of predictions in there.
Oh, right. How did they do, Bill?
No very good, I'm afraid.
Surprise.
Carnoustie Panmure 3, Thornton Hibs 0. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, Carnoustie Panmure's, they've just spent a fortune on new players in there, so I was expecting them to win at Thornton Hibs because Thornton's only brought in 2 players this season, John. So I would think that Panmure was the team to beat there.
And they proved that last Saturday at home, the 3-0. Good victory.
Yep, and Broughty Athletic 2, Falthouse United 0, John. Your was 2-0 for Falthouse, and I was 3-0 for Falthouse. So we were totally wrong in that. Okay, you won.
I'll get 2-0, I'll get the score right, just get on Teams, Bill.
It doesn't count. Kenny, I don't know what you know about Forfar West End. They won 3-1 against Kerrymuir Thistle. Now, Kerrymuir Thistle are one of these teams that are really hot, they're hot, and if they're really cold, they're bad. You know?
You've got me there. I'm not really up to date with the East region. There's been too much turmoil over there for me to keep track of it. I've been busy looking after the West region, so I'm afraid I'm not really up to scratch with what's happening.
Something there. Glenrothes is saying John 0, Dundee Downfield 1. Now, Dundee Downfield, I've tipped them along with Falthouse to be up there challenging, along with Lochie United. That's my three teams up at the top. And Dundee went to Glenrothes and just won 1-0. It's a good start.
That's a good start. I mean, Glenrothes has that big open park up there at Glenrothes to play, and its atmosphere's zero.
Aye.
But you had first-hand knowledge of Dundee last year. You played in the Scottish last year, Bill, didn't you?
They were a stuffy side, John. We went up there to play them in the second round. It was 2-0 after 7 minutes, and we drew 2 each at half time, and then we never got another chance after that, and there the day. But when they came to our place, they had 2 or 3 players missing through injuries, and because they had played a couple of league games, and we beat them 5-1 comfortably at home. But they're a stuffy team. They really are a stuffy team.
Good start for them.
A good start for them. And here's one of the ones that's going to be up there as well, John. Lochie United 6, Whitburn 1. Now, our prediction was you were 3-0, I was 2-0. You're closer, so I'll give you that one. Right?
We did know that Whitburn's going to struggle this year, Bill. I mean,
we
did. They get put up there at the last minute, didn't because the club pulling out, man.
The club, one of the clubs decided that they wouldn't want to go into the top league because of the amount of travelling they would have to do. So they looked round about, and Whitburn was the next team in line for it, and they moved up. I don't know why they didn't go to Armidale, because Armidale would have jumped at the chance to get in there, but seemingly it was Whitburn it was put in. But Whitburn will struggle in that league this year, to be sure. And there's an old one there, John. We spoke about Tayport 3, Kennaway Star Hearts 1. That's a good result for Tayport, considering they've not been a team.
I know the Tayport of old, that's for sure, but a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Kennaway Star Hearts have been good the last couple of seasons, but poor start for them.
Kenny, I'm not leaving you out here because you said you didn't really know, but there's a good result for you. Bearglowry 8, Cooper Angus 0. Now, I can tell you that Cooper Angus got 2 players sent off, and one of them was their goalkeeper.
No, well, that's why they've got an 8-0 then. Aye. I remember Luger playing Cooper Angus many seasons ago, and it's a kind of quaint wee set-up that they've got up there.
Well, guys, guess what? That's us, Finny.
Love music, live sport. Just the Juniors with Bill Kilgour and John Redmond on Rock Sport Radio.